So UFC 301 took place last night, and this is my reaction to the card itself. Before I start though, what do I think? Let me get in camera. These are the Alex Pereira. What do I think, chat? So these are the Alex Pereira graphic tees that I have made myself. They are live on my Shopify store, which I will link. They're linked on my TikTok, but I'll try and get them linked here on YouTube. Any support, I would appreciate it. Give me your opinions on them in the comments below. Good, bad, whatever. I'm open to all criticism. But anyway, back to 301. There was 13 fights on this card in total with 6 finishes. Overall, the card wasn't as bad as what I think people predicted it to be honest. I mean, we'll just skim through like the prelims and early prelims. Yeah, we'll just go through these first. Drakkar Close got another good win. I like to see him get a fight up the rankings now. Oralby with another good win. I think this guy's going to be a serious threat in the UFC. The Caveman is definitely one to keep your eye on. Jack Shore, his fight got stopped. That hole in his leg, yeah, that was disgusting. Very unfortunate for him. That was just minging. On to the main card though, which is what I want to spend more time talking about. Starting it off, we have unfortunately got Paul Craig versus Baralho now. I think Paul Craig should go back up to light heavyweight, to be honest. He's very one-dimensional. His kicks are good. His body kicks. The inside kick was there for him at some points in the fight. But he's got nothing going with his hands. Like, really, there's nothing at all that goes with his hands. I don't even think he really threw many strikes with his hands. It's as if, like, he just doesn't know how to. It's weird. Obviously, he's phenomenal on the ground, but even trying to get it to the ground, he's not that great at doing that either. Obviously, like, his ideal scenario is to have you in his guard. But Baralho just kept disengaging and standing up and wouldn't go to the ground with him. And once I seen that, I knew it was only a matter of time. Now, Baralho, in fairness to him, it was a good finish. But like they were saying in commentary, which they were right about, he kept lunging into shots. I definitely felt he could have finished Paul Craig a lot earlier than what he did. But nonetheless, Baralho, ranked number 14, beat Paul Craig, who was ranked number 13. Let's see who he gets when he moves up the rankings. I'd like to see Paul Craig go back to light heavyweight, to be honest. Next up, we've got Michel Pereira versus Pereira. I cannot say it. Eora Pereira? Just stick with Pereira. I can't say the guy's first name, obviously. Yeah, Michel Pereira again coming out there, getting another finish. Since this guy's moved to middleweight, he's looked phenomenal. Now, the UFC are kind of punishing him by giving these like no-named, low-ranked guys in the middleweight division, which I suppose is good for him because he's building up a bit of a highlight reel, building up a bit of a name with these finishes, etc. But he needs a guy in the rankings now. Let's stop pissing about here. I don't know. You can maybe give him... no, Baralho probably won't fight him. Maybe they would fight. I'm not too sure. Both guys are from Brazil, so I don't know if they would fight or not. But that would be a good introduction fight for Pereira, just off the top of my head, considering Baralho is ranked in that division. But anyway, Michel Pereira with another vicious submission. Even when he let go, Pereira went out, which was insane. But yeah, like I said, Michel Pereira definitely is looking good at middleweight. I think he has finally found his division, and I'd like to see him get a higher ranked opponent next, someone inside the top 15. For Pereira, I don't know what's going to be next for him. He is meant to fight Sharaput Magomedov on the Saudi Arabia card, but I mean, the guy basically passed out from a choke, so I don't know, like, is he allowed to fight again that soon in June? I don't know. Either way, he loses that fight again as well, unfortunately. Next up, Anthony Smith versus Petrino. Now, I did not expect this. I thought Anthony Smith was going to get his head jabbed off him in this matchup. I thought Petrino was going to bust him up with jabs. We've seen that in the Tyson Pedro matchup, I believe, which was his last fight. That fight wasn't great, to be honest, but he was able to show that he has a good jab in there. But yeah, really low IQ in there from him to shoot in for that takedown, to continue to go for the takedown and not fight the hands when Anthony Smith is clearly going for a guillotine. It wasn't a good look for him, but a good win for Anthony Smith, especially now with all the stuff he's been coming out with, saying about Pereira, etc. Everybody's shitting on him. I don't think anybody really thought he would win this matchup. I definitely didn't. I thought Petrino was definitely going to get his hand raised here, but overall, not really much to comment. Anthony Smith had a pretty good job on him in that matchup as well. He threw some pretty good leg kicks. Yeah, it's one of those ones for Petrino. It's definitely going to be a learning experience for him. He got caught in a submission. These things happen. Good win for Anthony Smith. Next up in the co-main event, you've got Jose Aldo versus Jonathan Martinez. Now, the King of Rio returned. Now, I didn't know how Aldo was going to look in this matchup because Jonathan Martinez was on a 6-fight win streak going into this matchup, and he was ranked number 12. And Aldo had 2 years out of the cage, and he's 37. Now, 37 doesn't seem that old, but in these lower weight classes, I would deem that pretty old. But Aldo dominated all 3 rounds. Jonathan Martinez got nothing off. Really was able to land nothing of any significance on Aldo. Aldo was able to land takedowns on him as well. Aldo was able to keep it standing when Jonathan Martinez tried to shoot for him. Aldo with them body shots are wicked, to be honest. They were insane from him. Jonathan Martinez couldn't get his leg kicks going really. Aldo was able to check a few of them. Aldo was very patient but very explosive in there. I don't know what's next for Aldo. I'm hoping he has signed a new deal with the UFC. I'd much rather see him compete in MMA, especially in the UFC, especially when he shows he's still got it at this level, than go and do these stupid fucking influencer boxing matchups, to be honest. So hopefully Aldo sticks around and they can give him Dominic Cruz or Henry Cejudo next, because both guys are ranked above Jonathan Martinez in the rankings. I think that would make sense. Now on to the main event. Pantoja defends his belt against Steve Erceg. Now, Pantoja is probably one of the most underrated fighters on the UFC's roster. Steve Erceg showed that he was a much better striker than Pantoja in here. But what I liked about Pantoja on the feet was he kind of knew that. I liked his blitzing in, especially blitzing into the body. Pantoja, it's kind of hard to describe him, but to me it's just like he's just a winner. The guy just knows what to do to win. If you get what I mean, like, yeah, he just wins. The guy just knows how to win, and he showed that there. He showed his experience in there. Steve Erceg, for a guy who's on his, first year in the UFC, to look that good against the champion, Steve Erceg is going to have a bright future in the UFC, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people are talking about, is this a robbery, etc., etc. The way I scored it was round 1 for Pantoja, 3 for Pantoja, and 5 for Pantoja. A lot of people were on about the 5th round. I did have a 2-2 obviously going into that if you think about my scoring, but I think Pantoja done enough with controlling him in that matchup and being able to get his back, especially a couple times in the 5th round. What I also want to talk about, Steve Erceg made a big mistake, kind of similar to Ngannou Gan, where he probably would have won that if he kept it standing and didn't shoot for that takedown, which is what kind of cost him in there, to be honest. He opened a nasty cut on Pantoja's face. But yeah, like I said, Pantoja just knows how to win, and he wins. Pantoja, I don't know what's going to be next for him, to be honest, but I like him as a champion. I've seen people shitting on him. Also, what I want to talk about before the video ends, fuck Brazil. Never go back to this place again for an event, because Pantoja literally had to beg the people to stay in the crowd for a speech. They done that to Glover as well. Let's just not have an event there ever again. Thanks very much. But yeah, let me know your opinions in the comments below. What did you think of UFC 301? What do you think of the t-shirts? Let me see. Yeah, let me know your opinions on them in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers. I'll see you again in the next one.